Hello everyone, I'm Sophie Morgan, and today I'm going to show you something that could change everything about how your body functions. We're talking about blood flow. Specifically, a simple protocol that takes less than 5 minutes and can dramatically improve circulation throughout your entire body, including to the areas most men over 50 are quietly concerned about. What I'm about to share isn't complicated. It doesn't require equipment, and the physiological mechanisms behind it are well established in vascular medicine. When you understand what restricts blood flow and how to reverse those restrictions, you gain control over something most men think is completely out of their hands. Before we dive in, do me a favor, drop a comment below and tell me where you're watching from. United States, United Kingdom, South Africa, New Zealand, Singapore. I always love seeing men from around the world taking charge of their health. Now, let's get into this. Here's what most men believe. Blood flow is fixed. Either your vessels are healthy or they're not. Once you reach a certain age, decline is inevitable and there's nothing practical you can do about it. That's completely false. Your blood vessels are living, responsive tissues. The smooth muscle cells lining your arterial walls are constantly receiving signals. Signals to contract and narrow. Signals to relax and widen. What determines circulation at any given moment isn't your age. It's the balance of these signals. Most men over 50 are living with chronically narrowed blood vessels. Not diseased, not blocked, just chronically constricted, enough to reduce function, enough to impact energy, warmth, and performance. The reality? This constriction is reversible, and you can start reversing it today. For those who are new to this channel, I'm Sophie Morgan, board-certified urologist with more than 12 years working with men who want to reclaim vitality. I've guided thousands of men, many in their 60s, 70s, some even in their 80s, who believed their bodies had simply given up. What I've witnessed repeatedly is how targeted interventions addressing core physiology can restore function men thought was gone forever. Today, we're covering 3 components that work synergistically to open your circulation. We're triggering vasodilator molecule release, activating specific nervous system pathways that promote blood vessel relaxation and creating mechanical pressure gradients that force increased flow. Now, the first 2 components set the foundation. But here's what 90% of men miss. There's a third element, and without it, everything else barely moves the needle. I'm going to explain exactly what it is in 60 seconds. Let's begin with component 1. Component 1 is controlled breathing using a precise ratio. Your blood vessels produce nitric oxide, the signal for smooth muscle relaxation and dilation. As you age, production declines. Vessels stay partially constricted. But you can boost nitric oxide within minutes using specific breathing. This also activates your vagus nerve, signaling your parasympathetic system for vasodilation. You'll feel it immediately. Stress melts, warmth spreads. Here's the method. Inhale through your nose for 5 seconds. Belly first, then chest. Hold breath for 6 seconds. This oxygen deficit signals vessels to prepare for increased flow. Exhale through mouth for 7 seconds. Audible, like a sigh. Critical addition. During that 6-second hold, hum continuously. The vibrations increase nitric oxide production more than 12-fold versus silent holding. Those vibrations stimulate epithelial cells in nasal passages where nitric oxide synthesis occurs. Complete 6 cycles. 90 seconds total. Your chemical foundation. Let me tell you about Marcus. 68, Portland. He said, "I haven't felt fully alive in years. Energy flat, body cold. Avoiding intimacy with my wife out of embarrassment." Marcus wasn't diseased. His circulation had been restricted so long his vessels adapted to a narrowed state. I taught him all 3 components. He committed to every single morning. 2 months later, his energy returned. Hands and feet warm again. Relationship rekindled in ways he thought impossible. Marcus combined all 3 elements consistently. That's where component 2 becomes essential. All right, so that's breathing. 90 seconds to flood your system with vasodilator signals. But here's the problem. You've sent the chemical message for vessels to open. Blood still needs mechanical force to move through those open pathways. Which brings me to component 2. Strategic muscle contractions targeting large muscle groups near your pelvis. When you contract a muscle maximally without moving, you compress blood vessels. Flow gets restricted. When you release suddenly, there's reactive hyperemia, a surge exceeding normal baseline. This creates systemic circulation increase. The muscles we target favorably impact pelvic blood flow. You'll feel that distinct warm rush immediately. Protocol. 3 zones: glutes, inner thighs, deep core. Contract buttocks intensely, like cracking a walnut. Hold 12 seconds while breathing normally. Release instantly, notice the warmth. Move to inner thighs. Press knees together forcefully, maximum tension. Hold 12 seconds breathing steadily. Release completely. Feel the surge. Finally, lower core. Draw navel to spine, tightening lower abdomen and pelvic floor. Hold 12 seconds. Release suddenly. 90 seconds total, powerful reactive hyperemia throughout your pelvic region. Quick question. Have you ever done everything right for your health and still felt stuck? Type yes if that's you. Type NO if you've seen steady progress. I'm asking because what I'm about to share solves the stuck problem completely. This next component is what separates temporary results from lasting transformation. So you've triggered nitric oxide release, you've created mechanical pressure to drive blood flow, but there's one final element most men completely overlook. And it's the difference between feeling a brief improvement and establishing sustained change. Component 3 is rhythmic movement that creates dynamic pressure variations in your abdomen and pelvis. These movements physically massage internal structures and vessels. They stimulate nerve networks regulating vascular tone. Rhythmic pressure forces circulation while helping vessels remember how to respond. After sitting all day, your body craves this activation. Movement restores vitality. You'll feel more grounded, connected. First, pelvic rotation. Feet hip width, knees soft. Rotate pelvis forward, arching lower back. Hold 3 seconds, rotate backward, tucking tailbone. Flattening spine. Hold 3 seconds. 12 cycles. This massages deep vessels. Second, circular motion. Hands on hips. Create large circles with pelvis. 6 clockwise, 6 counterclockwise. Enhances pelvic circulation, releases hip flexor tension. Final, controlled squats. Lower, like sitting in a chair, as deep as comfortable. Pause 4 seconds, rise. 6 reps. Squatting creates intra-abdominal pressure changes, forcing fresh blood influx. 90 seconds. Your 5-minute protocol. Step 1, rhythmic humming breath. Inhale 5 seconds, hold 6 while humming, exhale 7. 6 cycles. 90 seconds. Step 2, isometric holds. Contract glutes, 12 seconds, release. Inner thighs, 12 seconds, release. Lower core, 12 seconds, release. 90 seconds. Step 3, dynamic movements. Pelvic tilts 12 cycles. Hip circles 6 each way. Squats, 6 reps. 90 seconds. Total, 4.5 minutes. Biologically, you're saturating your system with nitric oxide, the master vasodilation signal, generating reactive hyperemia, surging circulation to pelvic structures, mechanically stimulating vessels and nerve pathways, controlling vascular response. 3 mechanisms amplifying each other. Emotionally, you're reclaiming agency, actively improving function rather than passively accepting decline. Not dependent on medications, using your body's own systems to restore what you thought lost, practically less than 5 minutes, daily. For acute benefit, perform 20 to 40 minutes beforehand. Improvements last hours. For cumulative benefits, practice every morning. You're training vessels to maintain better tone. Men committing to daily practice typically see noticeable baseline improvements within 3 to 4 weeks. Listen, some of you are thinking it's too late. I've worked with men in their 70s and 80s who thought the same thing. They were wrong. Marcus told me 8 months in, I thought my body had quit on me. The truth was, I had quit on my body. Age doesn't end vitality. Your vessels adapt at any age. With consistency, small habits create freedom. Your body remains capable when you give it the right signals. Here's my challenge. Practice this protocol 7 consecutive days. Return afterward. Share in comments what shifted. Morning function improvements, energy changes, warmth in hands or feet. I read every response. Starting tomorrow, dedicate 5 minutes. First week, most men feel warmer, especially extremities. Some notice energy stabilizes versus crashing mid-afternoon. Weeks 2 and 3, functional improvements. Morning experiences more frequent or robust. Response times quicken. Weeks 4 through 6, many describe baseline function they haven't known in years. If this information served you, give it a like so other men can discover this message. Subscribe to my channel for evidence-based guidance specifically designed for men serious about vitality. Tell me in the comments, which component are you most eager to try? Component 1 with the humming breath, component 2 with reactive hyperemia, or component 3 with the dynamic movement? I read every single comment. Remember this, you're not broken, you're simply operating with constricted circulation. And that constriction can be reversed. I'm Sophie Morgan, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care of your body because vitality doesn't have an expiration date.